Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report Feedback Friday.
I love Friday. I love Fridays.
Episode number 78, David Hero,
That's
here on
I
Friday.
Obviously, 78 Fridays.
Friday. And well, it's been more than 78, but 78 by which we've done this program. Damian Nelson standing alongside David Hero, and we're kicking this show off as we did yesterday on Primetime with Be the Booker for Sunday's Payback pay-per-view from San Jose, California. And let's review what we talked about on Primetime, David Hero. We looked at the Tag Team Championship matchup where you said the Hardys are going to come out victorious with Sheamus, as you like to call them, taking a turn for the worse, if you will, on Sunday.
They need another heel tag team on Raw.
And then the SmackDown House of Horrors matchup. Bray Wyatt victorious over Randy Orton for reasons you can find out by looking and watching Primetime, And then Bayley loses her Women's Championship to Alexa Bliss, the fast-rising #1 contender on Raw. But there are several other matchups we want to talk about on Payback on Sunday. And the first of which is going to be for the United States Championship. Kevin Owens from SmackDown Now will be defending against Y2J Chris Jericho. If Jericho wins the United States Championship from Owens, he then joins Owens on the SmackDown roster.
But if Jericho loses, I'm guessing he's going to go a tour with Fozzy.
And there may happen to be some dates booked.
Yeah. So let's go with Kevin Owens. Guess he is the face of America.
Has this been awkward at all?
No.
Happening between the two shows? Or has it lost its steam, if you will, happening between the two shows?
It's only temporary. I don't think it's hurt anything. I think it helps both shows because people want to tune in both shows to see what's going on.
Next is for the Cruiserweight Championship, David Hero. I know you're looking forward to talking about this one. Neville defends.
You know what? I am, because both of these guys can go.
Neville defends his championship against Austin Aries.
Milwaukee's own Austin Aries against Neville. And they had an okay match at WrestleMania.
Okay. It was good.
It was good. It wasn't what I was hoping for. I think it'll be different this time because, you know, they won't have 6 hours of WrestleMania to fill. But, you know, Neville has been just doing everything right.
Yeah.
And Aries, he's right there with them. And he's getting a great reaction from the crowd.
Yeah.
But I always believe there's money in the heel.
Money in the Bank?
Money in the Bank. And I think Neville is going to retain. I think T.J. Perkins will get involved. I think, you know, Captain Jack Gallagher is going to get involved.
Gentleman Jack Gallagher.
That guy also.
He's endorsed now,
yeah,
you know.
I'm not surprised.
What does that mean? You're not surprised that he's endorsed?
Well, he's a British guy that drinks.
The only other British person on the endorsed list is Rockstar Spud.
Exactly.
Does he drink?
Oh, my goodness. He was at Shenanigans the last 2 years. You didn't see?
Next is Seth Rollins versus Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe. This match here, Samoa Joe needs. He needs to win. And I don't believe Seth Rollins is 100% still. I think Samoa Joe is going to just batter and bruise him all around the ring. Joe needs this victory. If he doesn't beat Seth Rollins, then the last 2.5 months have been a waste of time because that means Joe drops down to the middle of the card.
Joe doesn't have a win yet, basically, right?
He does, but over nobody.
Yeah.
So beating Seth Rollins is huge for his development to keep him on the top of the card. But if Seth Rollins wins, where does Samoa Joe go from there? I don't like how that would work out for Samoa Joe.
Yeah. Well, folks, the next matchup, and I guess the main event of Payback, is Roman Reigns, the returning Roman Reigns, against Braun Strowman, the monster among men.
And this match has potential to be something great. They could tell an amazing story with this match if they do it. I fully expect Roman Reigns to come down all bandaged up, holding his ribs, the Spirit of 76, battered and bruised, and be the underdog, fighting from underneath the entire match. Braun Strowman keeps overpowering. Roman Reigns comes back for a comeback, gets cut off, comeback, gets cut off. The hope spot when you think Roman Reigns is going to win, and boom, Braun Strowman takes care of business. Braun Strowman, the monster among men, defeats Roman Reigns.
And while Braun Strowman has had a great few weeks, this ultimately would make him made, right?
Absolutely. This makes him Brock Lesnar's #1 contender.
And a loss in any way, shape, or form gives doubt.
Yeah, because you just lost a gimmick match to Kalisto, which
we talked about on Friday.
For me doesn't mean anything,
right.
But it still does to some people. And he can't have 2 losses in the same week.
Yeah. All right, folks, well, that is Be the Booker, and it is now complete here across our two shows, Primetime and Feedback Friday. An interesting card on Sunday for Payback, David Hero. Is this one?
It's a lot of heels winning this thing.
There are.
Except for the Hardys.
Everybody but the Hardys.
Yeah.
Are you really looking forward to this show?
Yeah, I mean, there's some matches here I'm looking forward to seeing. I mean, there isn't one match I don't want to see, to be honest with you.
That's rare.
Yeah.
That's rare in any case, to be honest with you.
This match is going to be very interesting for me.
Yeah. Bailey and Alexa Bliss,
Yes.
yeah. All right, folks, well, that is Be the Booker. We're going to take a time out when we come back. Your comments, more picks in the 2017 PWR Fantasy Draft, including that final wild card pick, David Hero.
I love wild cards.
We our last pick is given to us, so I can't wait to see what happens with that. And all that and more coming up here on Feedback Friday. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report Feedback Friday. David Nelson sitting alongside David Hero. And David, I got to give you credit. You know, after a failed draft scenario, your picks 1 through 8 yesterday.
Whoa,
you did a good job with Be the Booker. Well, you did. You left your guy Braun Strowman sitting on the table, and I scooped him up just like ice cream.
Well, I wouldn't know if I would use that analogy.
It'd be like a mint chocolate chip kind of thing.
I like mint chocolate chip.
Do you? It's disgusting.
No, it's fantastic. It's minty
Which
freshness.
part, the mint or the chocolate chip?
Both are delicious.
Well, probably the chocolate chip more so.
Hey,
than the mint,
the key is I have no losers on my team this year.
no, you know, you'd make a great leader of losers.
No, I wouldn't, because this is
you would.
all these are
Let's
all
go over the
A
teams,
plus
folks. As
guys.
you know, the PWR Fantasy Draft began yesterday on the PWR Primetime broadcast. It then continued with our number 8 pick on the Primetime Extra podcast. We'll reveal to you who that is now. That, of course, airs after Primetime on Thursday nights here on Feedback Friday. We then have our final 2 picks, our number 9 pick and our number 10 pick. Our number 9 pick is a pick manually by us here off of our rosters. And our number 10 pick is a wild card pick that has been previously selected.
I don't understand that. I don't understand that.
Before the episode,
Why?
we picked names out of a hat, and they were placed in an envelope. We were not able to look at them, and Linda has them.
That's what I was picking?
Yes, that's what you were picking.
I thought that was
Linda?
for Secret Santa.
It's certainly not that time of year. Linda has the names that were picked in envelopes. She's going to bring them to us when it gets to time for number 10, and we will all, as Howard Finkel will say, and now let us all find out who drew number 10.
I don't like this. I don't like having...
Well, you shouldn't have. You're already part of it. That's the only way number 10 is going to be determined. What if you end up getting somebody good as number 10? What if you end up getting like a TJ Perkins or a Alexa Bliss or a Jack Gallagher?
Hey,
or
I'll take
Nikki Bella, Tamina.
I would love an Alexa Bliss.
Tyler Breeze, Xavier Woods, The New Day.
Oh, my God, New Day's still on the board.
Let's go over the rosters as they've been selected so far here, folks, on the fantasy draft. And I'll just share with you the recognized symbol of excellence in professional wrestling, the team known as the Nelson family that will be essentially guaranteed to be the winners of the draft again this year after winning it now 5 years. Not in a row, but sort of kind of. I've only lost twice, and you cheated each of those times.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did. You absolutely cheated.
I laid
Meathead
the
won
smackets
once.
down on you.
I won 4 times, but I
Meathead
took
did not
Meathead's
win anything.
He did win 1 year.
No, he did not.
Absolutely he did.
That was a screw job finish. That was worse than Montreal.
The PWR record books indicate that Meathead won the draft that year, and he transitioned that win to me, much like Ted DiBiase and Andre the Giant tried to do at the Saturday Night's Main Event.
That's not what
before
WikiLeaks
WrestleMania
is
4.
reporting.
So, the Nelson family is comprised of the following, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready for the
Are
team?
you ready?
Number 1, my pick was Braun Strowman, followed by Baron Corbin, Finn Balor, The Hardys, The Miz, The American Alpha, Charlotte, and my number 8 pick yesterday on the Primetime Extra podcast was Rusev, who will be in the main event at Money in the Bank. See how
Rusev?
I'm thinking? Yeah.
Is in the main event at Money in the Bank?
He demanded it on SmackDown this past Tuesday.
He's not going to get it.
He's going to get it.
Okay, we'll see.
So how about that team of the Mighty Mouse Club?
Team Super Friends
Underdog?
is led by AJ Styles.
Oh, he's your leader.
He is. Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Nakamura, Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, and Dean Ambrose. All top guys. All
I forgot.
former
One more
world
time, 'cause I wasn't
champions
listening.
except of Nakamura.
Let's see. You know what? You have a good team. You have a good team. Your team standing up to mine, though, because this is about the next 12 months, not the last 12 months.
I understand.
Is much better.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's prove again how much better that team is. As we said, number 8 was picked last night on the PWR Primetime Extra podcast. It's available, of course, to listen on all your podcast channels. It is now time to pick number 9, which is our final actual pick here in the draft, David Hero, because the wild card is coming after we read our comments of the week here on Feedback Friday. So, with that, I do believe that my last pick, the last pick went to me, correct, on last night? So I get to pick,
no,
or you get to pick next?
I pick.
Fine, you pick your number 9, David Hero. Who will be
I
number 9
am going
on
to pick
Team Underdog?
the number 1 contender for the SmackDown title, Jinder Mahal. I need a little cultural diversity.
Short-term burst for sure. All right.
No, it's not. Jinder Mahal is going to have a hell of a year.
That's a SmackDown person. That rounds out your SmackDown roster.
Yeah,
However, you could end up with a 6th from SmackDown, depending on who the wild card pick is. Jinder Mahal, your pick for a 1-month run at Backlash. Ladies and gentlemen, my number 9 pick will fill out my SmackDown roster, and it will be a team that you well know that has not yet debuted on SmackDown, and that will be the men who hosted WrestleMania in Orlando this past year. I'd like to welcome to the Nelson family, The New Day.
Oh, my gosh. I should have taken that.
Do a little dance and everything. New Day, New Day, New Day, New Day rocks.
Okay, great. Can we keep going here?
Why are you so upset? Why are you so bitter? Why are you so angry? Just because you don't have the mental acumen
No,
to pick such a great team that I've picked.
I just can't believe that you took 2 of my guys.
Who had the number 1 pick? Who picked first?
I did.
In
Well,
this
how
draft?
do you not take AJ Styles number 1?
How do you not? So then why are you upset that I took Braun
Because Braun
Strowman number
Strowman
1?
shouldn't have been your number 1.
Men, after payback
You
on
should have
Sunday
taken
especially.
Seth Rollins or anybody else at your number 1, not Braun Strowman.
So you're picking my guys now.
Well, if you were smart, you wouldn't have taken Braun
Well, I'm
Strowman
glad
number
you've
1.
also proven that you continue to be sexist in this PWR draft.
What?
Because of the trend of your sexism over the last few months, there's not a single female on your team.
There's not one on SmackDown I'd want.
There could have been one on Raw. You could have taken as well.
I couldn't.
5 and 5.
I already had all my Raw guys.
Oh my! Your logic and your justification for your missteps is amazing to me. And after your comments,
Why is it a
especially
misstep?
last week on Prime
What did I
Time,
say last week?
I had I got called into the office here at Channel 14.
What did I do? I don't remember.
And I can't repeat them.
Oh, come on. Give me a hint.
You made reference to sexual relations in an oral variety on last week's show.
I did? Mm-hmm. That was a few weeks ago about Paige. No? Last week, too?
Yes. Huh. And I have resolved those matters, at least in a temporary fashion. And hopefully you received, when you made your
Who doesn't
draft
like
pick
pudding
earlier,
pops?
when you made your draft pick earlier, the notice from the station about your behavior.
Oh, it'll be fine.
That cost them a lot of money. With that, let's go, ladies and gentlemen, to your comments this week. Draft pick number 10 coming up a little bit later. Let's go to your comments for this week. And let's start off with a comment from a YouTube user by the name of Charles Stevens III. And last week we talked about, or it could have been on one of the podcasts, I'm not sure.
Oh, come
last
on.
week we
Seriously?
talked about AAA and TNA and how that could work for them as a mutually beneficial arrangement as they formed a partnership. Charles Stevens III had the following to say, and I quote, "I believe this will work with AAA and TNA if it is going to be 50-50 booking. This can't be the invasion of old, but they can do a compelling storyline if both brands look strong. This way, TNA can have built stars at their disposal if needed in the future or down the line."
Here's the thing about AAA.
What's the thing
they
about
don't run
AAA?
that many shows.
These are not the ones that wherever you go show your card and save it pays to belong to AAA. This is a
Right,
different thing.
yeah, it's completely different. I mean, they don't run shows monthly or weekly. I mean, they run a couple big shows a year. It's more of a booking agency where they book their talents out to other companies. I mean, it's great if, TNA wants to bring in some new lucha talents.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt them to do so.
No, because they need to revamp their cruiserweight division. And let's face it, I'm sure that's part of the deal working with Del Rio is to bring in, Conan's guys from AAA as well. Which is interesting because didn't Conan sue TNA, the old guard?
Oh, he sued the old guard,
Yeah,
yes.
which was Jeff Jarrett's old guard.
But he, at that point, I think had been removed. Dixie was
yeah,
fully in charge.
There's a lot of shenanigans going on in TNA right now.
Yep. But again, their product-wise, I've watched Impact the last couple of weeks. It works out good. When I record my new Nelson Factor podcast, which did you get a chance to check it out, David Hero?
No. Why would
For your support. The Nelson Factor podcast, you know, I got all the rights to the O'Reilly Factor, and now I have the Nelson Factor. It debuted last week. And I record that actually during Impact on Thursday nights, and then it goes up live after. So it's given me the opportunity to live feed or live comment, I guess, on Impact, and actually has forced me to watch the shows. And they have been very entertaining. How about that knockout punch that Jeremy Borash gave to Josh Matthews last week?
You know what's amazing is
he laid it all in that punch.
Of course he did. Josh Matthews had that coming. It kind of reminds me of us.
How? I mean, I am pretty, and you are.
You're obnoxious. Josh Matthews is obnoxious. People love me. People love Jeremy Borash.
Dress nice.
But, I mean, really? Two TV guys going at it? You think that'll draw a dime? Oh. Yeah, I'm sure it will.
I'm trying not to be obnoxious. Did you want me to actually say anything here?
That's a first.
And I don't mind being compared to Jeremy Borash or Josh Matthews. They're both tremendous broadcasters. We've all paid our dues in this business to be sitting in these seats at ringside.
I'm just worried about JB because he has Joseph Park. And
no spoilers. Unless you warn that it's a spoiler.
It just
so
happened
why don't you
2 nights
warn
ago.
that it's a spoiler? And the taping, it has not aired yet.
Oh, they don't care. Some people don't get pop
You
TV.
can holler if they hear you.
Yeah, Scott Steiner, along with, what's that guy's name? Damien Nelson Light, Josh Matthews. Yeah.
Could compare me to the Pope. I mean, that's probably a more accurate
Why?
comparison because we're both color
Because you're black?
commentators. Huh?
Colored commentators?
I said color.
You can't
I
say
didn't
that on
say-
TV.
I said color. Color. C-O-L-O. Let's throw a U in.
Linda heard it too. I know you said colored
I
commentators.
did not say that. I said that I am versatile enough in such a way that I can do play-by-play or color commentary. The Pope does color commentary. I think that would be a more fair comparison from a visual
So you'd
standpoint.
rather be in a tag team with the Pope than Josh Matthews?
Depending on who the partner is, who the other partner is, yeah.
I just told you.
No, that doesn't make any sense. Because Josh Matthews is with Scott Steiner. Me with the Pope, that would be defeating the whole purpose.
Would you rather hot tag the Pope or Josh Matthews?
Probably the Pope. I mean, he's got more wrestling talent
He
than
does.
Josh
Yeah.
Matthews.
Okay. Just curious. You're in big
Let's go to
trouble.
our next. How am I in big
Because
trouble?
I don't think you and Scott Steiner can beat Jeremy Borash and Joseph Park.
You underestimate too often, my friend, who's not my friend. Let's go to our next comment, which comes to us from another YouTube user by the name of... by the way, before we get to that, we're talking about the Nelson Factor podcast. It drops again this week. I appreciate your tremendous feedback on that podcast and all of our podcasts. On the Nelson Factor, we do go back to, as you know, I live tweet with you during Raw and SmackDown on Mondays and Tuesdays, and we go back and we review those tweets and talk about your comments and give some more additional feedback in our feedback segment on the Factor. So be sure to check that out. You can catch it on all of our feeds, both for Feedback Friday and for Primetime, and also a brand new episode of Primetime Extra available to you as well. Bonus interviews, David Hero, this week on Primetime.
Love it.
Look back. It's a flashback to 5 years ago, what we were talking about here in these very chairs on Primetime, and also a bonus interview with both Jeff Jarrett and who's the other one? What's the other bonus interview this week? I think it's Billy Gunn, as we talked about. Yes, Billy Gunn and Jeff Jarrett.
How can you forget about Billy Gunn?
Bonus interviews available exclusively right now on the PWR Primetime Podcast feed. And we appreciate those of you who have subscribed, reviewed, and rated. Because remember, if you do, especially if you're an iTunes subscriber, you review and rate the podcast, you have the opportunity to win 2 free tickets to the next WWE wrestling event in your town. All you have to do is review and rate on iTunes, and we've gotten a lot of you who have done that already, and your name is in the hopper, if you will. And we will be selecting that once we get to 100 on each. So we'll get to a total of 100 views and reviews. I'm sorry, not views, but reviews and ratings on each. We'll go ahead and announce who those winners are. Additionally, David Hero, let's not forget, big time opportunity coming to Brooklyn for both NXT and SummerSlam at the Barclays Center, as the Pro Wrestling Report will be presenting you with an opportunity to join us in a VIP luxury suite. It's a VIP luxury suite at the Barclays Center on both SummerSlam and NXT. All the information available right now at WrestlingSuites.com. WrestlingSuites.com.
Not Suites as an SW, as an SUITES.
SWV, Sisters with Voices?
I miss them.
So that's WrestlingSuites.com. And if you listened to The Factor last week, you got a special discount code.
Factor.
That's what it's called.
It's so funny. You gimmick infringer.
You weren't on the phone with me when Fox called me and said, we don't need this anymore. He's gone. He's done. Do you want it? And I said, sure.
Bro.
I'll take the assets. It's like when WWE bought WCW.
No, first of
all, when they bought ECW.
WCW didn't get that kind of a payout to go away.
WrestlingSuites.com. Thank you so much for checking us out and joining us in Brooklyn at the Barclays Center. All right, our next comment, folks, comes to us from a YouTube user by the name of I Am Legend 561. I Am Legend 561. You think that's in reference to the Will Smith music?
I'm sure.
Movie?
Yeah, of course.
I watched iRobot again the other day. The movie gets better and better every time I see it.
Yeah. I watched Winter Soldier again.
Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
That's what I said.
You said Winter Soldier.
We're short on time.
No, you're short on talent.
Okay, keep going.
He says this, and I quote, I personally didn't care for the finish from the Braun Strowman versus Big Show match on Raw. Yes, it was cool wrestling moment with the ring imploding. Only thing is they did this like a month ago. Wish they had been more creative with the finishes instead of going back to stuff they've done before.
What else are you going to do with two freaking giants? First of all, it's not the finish. It's how the show went off the air. Braun Strowman standing up in the middle of the ring with his both hands raised, growling as the Big Show laid out. That was the visual. That's what they were selling. Who cares about the ring exploding again? It's happened 3 or 4 times now.
You know, great point. Have you seen suplexes happen over a variety of matches?
Oh,
have you seen...
We've seen DDTs and leg drops.
Headlocks, leg drops,
house show dives,
over-the-top ropes, suicide dives. So you can't use those again either, by this logic?
All they wanted was the picture of Big Show laid out, ring imploded, Braun Strowman, big beast, double arms, salute. That was the visual.
It's a big spot. It wasn't a month ago. It was years ago. They've done it 3 times in total. The first time is always going to be the best, right? It was the most shocking on that SmackDown episode where it was Brock Lesnar and Big Show. This was relevant. It made sense. Why beat it up and say they did it before? Just enjoy it for what it was. I implore you as fans to do that. Just enjoy it for what it was. Don't wonder why he won or lost. Don't wonder who's getting a push and who's not getting a push. Just enjoy what is happening on screen.
They can't do that because everyone's a critic, much like yourself.
Well, they get it from you.
I'm not a critic.
Thank you for those comments, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate your interaction. And want to now go to the final picks of the 2017 Pro Wrestling Report Fantasy Draft. And this, folks, ladies and gentlemen, will be our number 10 pick. So let's go through the rosters again. And remember, number 10 was a wild card pick. Why are we
keep going through the roster?
It was because you reset. You get back to the point where people know where you are, know what the story is, know what's going on. And on the Nelson family, the story is that we are on our way to yet another win with the following roster. Braun Strowman, Baron Corbin. Let me repeat those first two because they feel so good.
Braun Strowman, I hate
Baron
you because
Corbin,
of it.
Finn Balor, The Hardys, The Miz, American Alpha, Charlotte, Rusev, The New Day. And now, let's all find out who I drew for number 10. Linda, may I have the envelope, please?
I cannot wait for this.
Hello, Mr.
Hello again,
Nelson.
Linda. It's good to see you. Welcome,
Nice
welcome.
to-
Nice blue
wow.
shirt. It's like you're wearing Brewers colors today or something.
Where's SmackDown? Oh, red.
Oh, that
blue,
show. Yeah.
wrong,
It's more
SmackDown.
like Impact, I think.
There's no owl on her.
You're
All right.
not at the same angle I am.
Oh,
Who?
Those earrings, that's an owl, isn't it?
possibly. All right. Well, I have your number 10.
Ah, my number 10.
Sir.
Awesome, thank you. And I can just open this now?
Absolutely.
All right. Let's see what we got. Oh, yeah. Thank
You can
Linda.
have that, Joker.
Thank you, Linda. Sami Zayn is coming home
you
to
can
the
have
Nelson
him.
family. The endorsed Sami Zayn rounds out my tremendous team. Ha ha! Woo! I couldn't ask for anything more.
Well, I already got AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Nakamura, Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, Dean Ambrose.
A good team.
With the exception of Nakamura, all world champions. I have the future SmackDown champion in Jinder Mahal.
Sure. Sure.
Bro, this is a slam dunk.
No
Even though you stole my top two guys.
I didn't steal anything. You picked AJ Styles first. If you really wanted Braun Strowman, you should have picked Braun Strowman
you can't
first.
Take him number one.
I did. I took him number one. He's my number one. He's on my team.
You did it out of spite.
Deal with it. Understand it. I took Baron Corbin as number two.
You did it out of spite.
90% of those two picks were out of spite. But next year, when I sit here again and will have won by over 1,000 points, I will say, why do I even bother picking? Because I could just sit here and take who you don't take, and I will still win. So do you want your number 10? Because maybe this will save you. Who knows? Let's see. You can get a Alexa Bliss.
You know
what?
what?
You can get an Austin Aries, a Jack Gallagher.
Honest to God, I need
Enzo Amore and Cass.
I need
Cesaro,
a tag
Sheamus.
team. I need a tag team, a cruiserweight, or a chick. That's what I need.
A chick, per my earlier comment.
I do. Because right now I have no chance at the women's title, the tag team belts. So I need to get points. So I need one of those three.
In hell. So he's got no chance. No chance in hell.
Can we get my number 10 pick?
They rocks. New.
You're obnoxious.
They rocks.
You're starting to hear
New. They rocks. New.
All right, Linda.
They rocks.
No, Mr. Hero.
Hey,
Linda.
She goes both ways. Over there too. Right?
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Are you freaking kidding me? Apollo Crews? Hey, meathead.
Oh my God, Linda.
Jackass. How the hell did that happen?
Wait a minute.
Apollo Crews? You guys are not funny. You know I don't want that guy at all. Absolutely insane. Seriously, get Constantino on the phone. I want this entire thing to be redone. Start the show from scratch. I'm not taking Apollo Crews. I hate him.